Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Primetime Jerry Royce, and you're on the party line with the incredible Mr. Right. This is a Positive Power 21 Network Entertainment and a production of Royce Enterprises Incorporated. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this presentation of The Party Line with the incredible Mr. Right. You can reach us at www.uncoveringmrright.com, and that's separated with hyphens. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank my guest, Quintel, for joining us tonight, and my co-host, Ty from D.C. So what's going on, gentlemen?
Not much.
All right. Good, man. Appreciate you guys being on here tonight. And as you both know, this goes up on YouTube. We also download it to our website where we have over 15,000 people come out and visit us daily. So they get a chance to hear what Mr. Quintel is all about. All right, Q, man, before we get started, man, can you give our audience a little bit of background about yourself? Because, you've been doing a lot of entrepreneurship. You've been going to school. You work for the federal government. You're a busy guy. You help your mom out, so we want to know what kind of guy you are.
Well, I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. I went to Baltimore City College High School, graduated from there, went on to Lincoln University on academic scholarship. Played a little basketball, but didn't get an athletic scholarship, and I wasn't too upset about that because I ended up having school paid for the most part in the beginning. So I graduated from Lincoln University and just moved on to different types of corporate jobs, trying to figure out. I have with a bachelor's in philosophy, just trying to figure out my way in the work world. What kind of profession I wanted. With a liberal arts major like mine, there's no clear cut profession that you're going to find with a philosophy degree. And I always had an entrepreneurial spirit. So my buddies and I just went on and started our own business. Entertainment and promotions firm. We put together nightlife events or social events, and from there we just learned the ropes in promotion and what promoting was like in the early 2000s, and just the onset of social media platforms and networking and all that good stuff. So we used all that to our advantage, and just moved around in different nightclubs and built our social circle and all that good stuff. And along the way, I was fortunate enough to get a good steady job at Social Security Administration, and I've been there for the last 6 years, I think.
Yeah, you're going on 7. I think going on 7 soon, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I told them 6 years, and so I'm here now. And now, when we started the promotions company, I had already started working on fashion design, but just so I could be successful in one venture, I kind of put the fashion design thing to the side so my buddies and I could focus on the nightlife, and then still had a creative outlet because I was able to design for our promotions firm. We did flyers, websites, and a bunch of other cool stuff where I got to be creative. And then once that started slowing down, I picked up the pencil again and got back to sketching. And I took some design classes at FIT in New York and learned about graphic design, how to convert my designs from paper to computer, so it can be much more easy to send around and have it produced and all that good stuff. Yeah. So it took me a few years, and I learned the ropes and just figured out what my niche is and what my designs were about, what story I was trying to tell and express through fashion design. And now I have my own clothing line, Quell Collections, and it's at quellcollections.com. You can see what I have so far. I'm still learning the ropes, and I'm moving on to big adventures that I can't mention yet, but the clothing line is still going. So it'll all be all of it will be combined together when it's all ready for the world.
That's right, man. You're a busy guy, man, and I have always been impressed with you, man, on the job from day one. Just how cool you were when we were in the classroom. It was 22, 23 people, all different personalities. You were like the baby of the family. Dealing with the old heads. That was a good experience for you, man, because you got a chance to experience the older people and then the women that we had to deal with in the classroom. It just shows you, what your spirit can handle.
Right.
So what we're going to do, we got background on you, and we're going to talk a little bit about your business world. So we go back and forth. I'll ask them some questions, and you can hit on one, and then we'll move into the second segment. We'll see what Quintel is doing out there in the relationship world and what are the challenges are for young guys today. Okay?
All right.
All right. My first question is, Q. What was it like, man, just going in business with your friends? I've done that before. It was a good bond because everybody had their place, their niche, what they could do, what they could bring to the table. Did you experience any problems, or you guys, everybody knew what they were supposed to do?
I mean, it was a pretty fun experience. I'm fortunate enough to have had the same friends literally since 4th grade. So, money actually came between us, or one or two of us, not the whole group. But because we've known each other for so long, that means more. Our friendship means more than anything else. So, when things got tough, it's not like the first time we had adversity, to share adversity. So that made it easier. But it becomes problematic because when you are that comfortable with each other, it's difficult to have a system in place where somebody has to give orders and the other has to take orders. You've been peers all your life. Nobody was necessarily the leader or told anybody else what to do because we're all pretty, strong guys and have our own opinions and do our own thing. But collectively, we all stuck together. But when you're working with money, people have to be responsible for certain things. So it did get kind of difficult because some people didn't know what to do or they did have certain tasks and they didn't get them done because everybody just doesn't hold to accountability the same way.
Right.
And that was a real difficult thing to handle. But I mean, we worked through it for the most part until we couldn't work through it anymore. But we're all still friends now, so it's all good. It was a good learning experience.
Good. Yeah, I remember you telling me that story, man. That was a pretty deep story, man. All right, appreciate you sharing that.
Mhm.
Hey, real quick, Q. What exactly came to mind when you decided to venture into the fashion world? I mean, I know that's one of those areas in life where most people, wouldn't necessarily look to go, especially as a young man. I want to know what gave you that edge to want to go into fashion.
Well, I always had my own particular style, but I mean, I didn't think of it as me just being a stylish guy. I was just into the things I was into. But I did have a good eye because the people that I grew up with, my mom, my older brother, and my dad, they were all pretty stylish people. So, that kind of helped develop my taste. But as far as going into the fashion world, I was actually taking the subway to my job at a mortgage lender. And then I had subscribed. I had a little paycheck, so I subscribed to GQ. I'm going through GQ magazine. I'm saying all these things I like. And then I saw one particular ad, and I was like, man, the hoodie was really nice. And I was like, I think I can do that. If I did it, I would do it this way. So I was like, well, why don't I try to make it the way I want it? So when I got to work, I just started sketching in my spare time. And then I started trying to figure out how can I make my own. So that was the first step into trying to figure out, how to get into fashion or maybe want to get into it. Because, I mean, I did a lot of shopping because, like I said, we were doing parties, so we wanted to look nice when we went. That came a little bit after I did the fashion design, but even still I was into, shopping and fashion and just checking out what was new and the latest stuff for guys like myself. Mm-hmm. But when I saw that picture, I wanted to figure out how can I make my own and make it my way. And it just was a thing to sketch. I didn't know about the whole, designing for seasons and telling a story and all that jazz. I just really wanted to make what I wanted to have. So that's what made me really get into it, just the desire to have what I wanted to see and what I wanted to wear.
Yeah, good. Now, Q, the big talk out there right now is Kanye West losing a lot of money in the industry. Now you remind me a lot of me. It's like I don't care what happened to someone else. I still want to try it myself because it's just something in you, that entrepreneur flame is burning, and you won't be right until you try it out, your way.
Right.
Now listening to what happened to him, did you learn anything from his method or his madness?
Yeah, the thing about it is, he's so loud and outspoken, and he has a past. People either love him or they hate him. And I particularly I so happen to be a person that love him, but I actually understand his frustration. I don't work anywhere near that level as far as production or having those types of resources, but I feel the way he feels because you want the resources to make exactly what you want. Like when I first started, I had to buy generic blank garments and then detail it the way I want. I wanted to make it from scratch, and because I didn't have any background, like I didn't go to college for fashion design, I didn't know how to make it from scratch. And so every time I was doing these generic garments, I was like, okay, well, this is what I wanted to make, but when I look at it or when I wear it or when I see it on somebody else, it's not exactly what I wanted because I don't have the resources to make it the way I want it. And it's pretty much the same thing that Kanye West is saying. He has the money, but he still doesn't have – he has the money, but he still doesn't have all the resources to accommodate what he's trying to make and to satisfy his taste, you know, his creativity. You know, you want to make a certain thing. If you want to use leathers, like premium leathers, but you want to use it, make 4,000 of them, you need a lot of money. But you also have to find a place that can handle 4,000 pieces of leather and then make them the way you want, you know, and that costs a lot of money. So I definitely understood what his frustration was about. You know, he said he maybe spent like $13 million. That's like a lot.
Yeah.
But you have to remember he's working at a higher level too. He's mass producing for people. A lot of people don't understand the ins and outs of fashion design. So some people can't really relate to whatever his frustrations may be. But that's really what he was saying. He doesn't have the resources and the money to really execute what his vision was. And I definitely understood that.
All right. Thank you.
Now, real quick, Q, I noticed you got a lot of history. You took a lot of classes in your fashion, and you went to college for a different field. But I didn't really hear you make much mention about taking any business courses. Where did you learn your business savvy to kind of keep yourself afloat, try not to fall in some of the pitfalls that a lot of entrepreneurs fall into today?
Well, I say thanks. That's a compliment because I didn't have a lot of business courses until recently. I started taking just like, you know, business development classes for business plans and things like that. But it came from us when I was in college. I didn't have a job, so I had to figure out a way to keep money. And then I had a car, but I had a car payment, so I had to figure out a way to make money. So I just basically all my business acumen comes from learning experience. That's what it's just firsthand learning experience. How can I make enough money to pay for what I want, pay for what I need to, and pay for what I want to pay for? So I just try to figure out ways to make it a little bit simple. My brother did a little business before me, so he kind of helped a bit. But most of it just came from learning along the way and, you know, making some mistakes and figuring stuff out and then just keeping it moving. Fortunately, I do have the background from, like, school and college to where I could always have a consistent paycheck. So all my sacrifices came directly out of my pocket. I never had to. It's a good and bad thing. I never had to rely on just hustling and figuring out business to actually feed myself because I had a paycheck. But I treated it as if I had to figure it out, and that's pretty much where it came from. When we started doing the party, the very first party, we made a bunch of money, but then we had to go get the next party, and we didn't have any money. So I said, man, we got to figure out a way to work this out so we had money in the bank. And it just like that's just the experience. You got to figure it out, you know, as you go.
Yeah, man. It reminded me of when my friends and I had our DJ group. Seems like you always got to put money aside to get equipment, keep up with the new records that's coming out, because you're going to start out spending your own money, but you don't want to continue to stay in business that way. And before we got to a point where we was actually paying ourselves, and it was like a part-time job for us. Promotion was word of mouth, so all we had to do was just spend money on records, really, and increase our equipment because we started splitting up, you know, to do more gigs, you know, in one night, you know. So I understand where you guys were coming from, learning on the fly. All right, Q. Now, I had a chance to see a very, very creative video that you and your buddy had put out, and I said, wow, that was really clever. Now, by you being a small designer, small fashion house, you know, going up against the big boys, but because of social media, you're able to form your own, what should I say? Well, form your own family, you know, people that support you, even strangers, because of sites like LinkedIn, Facebook, and some of the other ones that's coming along. Are you attacking all of them all the time, and how are you doing it when you have an 8-hour job?
Well, like I said, a lot of stuff comes from like prior experience. So when we were doing the parties, MySpace was popping. So we all jumped in and figured it out. This is how you work it. This is what you do. You keep people engaged, doing this, that, and the third. Then Facebook kind of took over, and now it's like a bunch of different platforms. But I do use them, but I kind of figured out how to use the ones that I felt were effective from my experiences before. Some of them don't. Some of them I just don't use as well because it's all of them are time consuming.
Yes, they are.
I use Instagram. I use Twitter. It's just faster. It just works better for my character type, like my personality. I'm not as engaged, and I don't like with fashion. It's you see it, you feel it, you get it, and that's the kind of fashion I design. Whereas like Facebook is a lot more. It's good to document. You can post everything, all your pictures, but it's really like people write a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of explanation and everything. There's a lot of details and all that good stuff. And with fashion, you don't share fashion that way, like with as many words. People need to see it. They need to see who else is wearing it, or they need to see what it is compared to other things. And it moves a little bit faster. So I don't use Facebook as much, but I mean I still have it because I still use it to post some of my things that I have going on there and all that good stuff. But I'm just so happy for social media and for the internet because it leveled the playing field and it gives small guys and small businesses and small fashion designers a better chance at getting to what they want. Like you have access to everything. You know, it's just about taking the time to find it. You have access to materials, to production, and you have access to consumers and their interest and their attention. So I think that's pretty good. And then me having a job, I mean, I can't lie. I use it while I'm at work. Most of the time it's during the downtime. We had breaks, so I like check in at lunchtime. I check in on our break time. If I knock out a few cases or something like that and I already have like a few extra minutes to spare, I'll hop on and see what's happening. And then I have like a smartphone, so it sends you alerts. So if somebody was really talking to me about something in particular, I'll know what it is. Some things I can ignore. Some things I'm like, okay, I need to get back to this person. But that's pretty much how I use it. They make it so easy and accessible for us, so I try to take advantage of it.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Q, you've made mention of your job several times. Now, you seem like you kind of enjoy it. My question to you is, you know, with having such a stable job in the government and so forth and being so aggressive with your fashion design and your nightlife industry, are you looking to make one of these your primary source of income, or are you looking to kind of manage both of them?
Yeah, no, I'm working my way out of a full-time job, man. I don't know when it's going to be, but I plan for it to be within the next few years, and I plan to make the fashion thing a full-time job because it's just what I prefer to spend my time doing. The nightlife thing I don't do as much anymore. It's kind of we ended that in 2010, and I mean to be honest, I realized that you can't do both. You can't grow a business into a full-time business that like becomes your career if you have another career. You know, you actually need that 8 hours. I need that time to put in for designing or building, for meetings, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I do look forward to moving into having fashion be my full-time job.
All right. Good. Now, Q, it's a lot of challenges out there, you know, especially when, you know, learning what happened to Kanye was a good learning experience for, you know, guys like you, knowing that, because he talked about the big boys controlling all the manufacturing, and you can't really give the savings or give a good deal to your customer if you can't get a deal yourself. Now,
Exactly.
knowing that, and I know you probably, now, have you like carved out your niche yet, saying, well, no matter what kind of deal you can't get or you will get, the consumers still want it and they're going to pay for it because it's one of a kind? Have you found that yet?
I think I chipped away at it a little bit. I'm not 100% there. I wouldn't even say I'm like 70% there, but I have started chipping away at it because I have I'm not going to compromise what it is that I like or what it is that I want to make, because I make it as if I go shopping, and I'm very familiar with shopping experience through working in retail part-time and all that jazz. So I know where quality piece is, and I know where like some people might be trying to steal or get over because they just can. You know, if you got a certain name behind it, you can just throw a price tag on it and say, pay me for it. Where if you if it's quality, it may still be expensive, but it is worth it. You'll have it for a few years. It may be a one-of-a-kind piece, so, kind of very limited. So I do kind of work on that being my part of my niche. Like, people just understand whatever it is that I design is probably going to be limited and kind of exclusive, and it's also going to be as high quality. It's going to be high quality. It may not be luxury, where maybe $500-$600. I don't want to price somebody out because I know the behind the scenes stuff. I'm just not in that range right now. But even if it costs more than something that a person may expect, if you go follow the story, if you log on to the Tumblr or my Instagram or log on to the website, then you'll get it. Like, you'll see where I may have pictures where you see the journey, where I'm buying fabric, where I'm importing leathers or zippers or whatever the case may be. And then the presentation is a part of it too. So when you carve out that niche, so you trying to. It's not for the masses. It's just for people who get it, for that niche of people. So they're into the presentation. They want to know is the website clean. Did he give me a shirt in a black bag or a brown paper bag like I just left the liquor store, or is it a customized bag? Is it a nice bag? All those things actually matter. So that's what I put into. That's what I consider me chipping away at that niche. With the more of those things I can include into my brand, helps me develop a fuller, just help me develop the entire niche.
That's right. That's right. All right, Tyler. No, Tyler, I'm gonna let you go ahead and ask your last question, and I got one last question for this segment, and then we're gonna move into the second segment. Okay?
All right. With all the schooling and education and all your business ventures and everything, I'm sure it's kind of hard to maintain any type of relationship. But I'm sure at some point you kind of look for that companionship. How has that affected your business ventures, or how has it enhanced it in any way?
At first it didn't matter. Like, when you're like early 20s, man, you don't care about having a girlfriend. You just out here trying to get it. You trying to build. I'm a pretty ambitious guy, so like I was just trying to make our promotion group like the best promotion group, and then the girls just came along with it. Like, I was just a little bit savvy enough to know not to chase the girls, but to chase the money. So then, it worked out. Then it was cool. You mingle around and all that type of stuff. So it could make your personal life kind of messy in the beginning, because we're young, kind of dumb. And you get older. You do have to make sacrifices. Like, you have to learn how to manage time. If you have like a significant other, you have to learn how to manage your time, so you're not neglecting your significant other, and then but you still want to put that time and effort in. So it just helps to have somebody who understands what you're going for, or have somebody that compliments what you do. That's pretty supportive. Because some girls you meet, they might just be like high and by, or here for whatever. So they may just use you, and that's when they can cut into your business, because they use you for your time or for whatever little bit of money you do have, and then you end up mismanaging your business, your money, and your relationships. So it is a pretty tough thing. Yeah.
That is. And this is going to be the last question towards your business venture, but I just want to know, have you had an opportunity to research the new equipment coming out called the 3D printer, where it actually can manufacture really unique designs right on the spot, and I guess in a matter of a few minutes or maybe an hour? Have you had a chance to see that?
Yeah, I did. I actually I'm into I'm all about the future, so I'm into like the technology sites just as much. I can't commit to it or work on it, but I do keep up with all that good stuff. So I heard about 3D printing a while ago, but now that it's still pretty new, but it's more accessible. So I actually got a magazine like 3 months ago that gave me a list of like the top 5 or 6 3D printers. Some were a little more than the others. And then I thought about it, like, where does this fit in to, my fashion design thing? It doesn't really, it would fit in maybe for accessories and something like that, but it's not something I'm willing to spend on. I mean, even if it's only a few $100s, I don't really need it yet. But I think it's like really, really clever, and you can just get right to whatever you want quickly. And if you know how, like, I was a part of an online course, and one of the people in the course was a girl who had a business where she made like accessories and jewelry, but she used a 3D printer to make them. And they really look cool. Yeah, like all the little pendants that she put on her chains and everything, they came from the 3D printer.
Wow.
So that was a really clever use of her using the 3D printer. But it applies to me in the form of like making accessories, or if I wanted to use like giveaways or trinkets to have to include. But I don't really make all those types of things yet. So, but I do think the 3D printing is pretty dope. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it was. It was really. So I could see, by you saying you're a sketcher, you can get your idea on the computer, and just like that, you can manufacture it on order. As people ordering off your website. Well, I could see it being more economical for a person with a smaller fashion house.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they could pump out jackets and sweaters and hoodies, that would be great. But yeah.
Well, actually, I saw a clip where it was wearable garments. Woman was.
Oh, maybe. See, that's new. It must be like a really big one. Like all the ones that I saw, the personal ones you can buy for like $500-$600 or less. It's like you can make items as big as maybe a remote control or canned soda or something like that. But if they have something that can make garments, then I might have to look into that.
Yeah, it makes shoes too. It actually hangs on the wall some kind of way, and I'm not sure how the computer feeds the information in, but it actually comes out like it's coming out of a conveyor belt, like it was
okay.
Like paper.
I got you.
Come out like camera.
Yeah, you know what? I did last year, like early 2013, Adidas used it to make it was an experiment, like a prototype type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I remember reading that Adidas used it for something. So yeah, I'm pretty sure those cost a lot of money. If Adidas is using it, then it's a major investment.
Yeah, you just plug in your size and everything's supposed to be perfect. I think people can actually use a body scan or key their information in. It was incredible. So I'm just wondering what is that going to do to the manufacturer?
Where did you see that?
Actually, I saw that at work. It was a big demonstration was done. Some cat that was a consultant from Google. Yeah.
Okay.
Incredible. All right, man. Then we ready to move on to the segment where we understand what turns the Q on. He's a businessman, and we understand that when you got a good job, so that's going to attract women right there. Just knowing you got a steady job, you pay your bills, you take care of your mama, you got your crib, you can take trips. Your steady job, steady government job. All right, so what's happening on the front lines with the women, man?
Well, I'm not on the front lines because I have a lady, so I haven't been on the front lines for a while now. But I mean, yeah, that what you said is true, though. I mean, if you, like I said, I didn't pay a lot of attention to all that type of stuff. I was just going after what I was trying to make happen as far as the business that I was in for promoting and stuff early. So I didn't think of it as chicks checking out my resume, but in real life, that's kind of how it was going. Like, oh, well, he got a decent job, he got a good side hustle. He, they might not know my credit, but they're like, oh, well, he got a car. He, whatever they think, and they start formulating things in their mind. He doesn't have any children. So on paper, he graduated from college. Like, on paper, he looks good, but I don't look at it like that. I'm just like out here living my life, trying to make a move here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how. I mean, but the one thing about it was, since I wasn't like trying to attract that kind of attention, it didn't pull me down too much. You know what I mean? I didn't get caught up in any type of trouble with too many females or whatever.
Yeah, and that can happen easy, man, because you consider to be a BMW of the black men out there. All right. So, Ty, you got a question for him?
Yeah, I mean, if you could, man, briefly, just give us a little bit of insight on, what you consider to be your ideal partner. I mean, just, from the way she looks, the way she talks, the way she walks, how she smells, what really gets your mojo going, man?
Well, I guess my perspective is like it's kind of changed, but you have to remember I come from the background of like I was in a club like 3 times a week for like 6 years in a row. So I'm seeing chicks like all the time, and like I can filter through the chick within the first few minutes. Even without having a conversation, I might watch her girlfriends. Once you have a conversation. So I mean, I do like chicks that's in the style because I'm in the style. So on site, that actually mattered to me. That they dress nice. I can get a feel for their style. You see them 1 or 2 times. Go on a date or whatever. So that does matter to me. I am into women who have a good sense of style. She doesn't have to be a college graduate, but she has to be savvy. She has to be willing to be educated, or she could have educated herself. But to be honest, when you're in college, you're used to educated females. So, that would be another. Yeah, like their personality actually matters, that they're a bit educated. And I kind of look for somebody who compliment my personality, because I'm more of an introvert. So like I'm all about my space, and I like things to be the way I want it. And I'm not like super sociable. I have friends, but I'm not like out trying to just mingle. I'm not like the life of the party. I don't go in nondescript. You may not just look right by me, but I'm not the guy in the middle dance floor dancing or anything. So I'm more attracted. Yeah, I'm more attracted to sassy women, or women that got a little spark about them. Not necessarily quiet girls, because I'm already quiet enough.
Yeah, you bored each other to death.
Yeah, exactly. And I even though it sounds like I could possibly be a fun guy out here in the fashion world and like doing nightlife parties and all that type of stuff, I consider myself boring. I may have like a little knowledge and background on a lot of stuff, but I consider myself boring. So.
No, man, you consider it exciting, man. They call it exciting.
But to me, but I know my preferences. So if I didn't have to go do anything super exciting, I'd be happy with that. But so it helps me to have somebody who can balance that out. But I mean, my preference is probably a woman of color, so like black women, Hispanic women. I like them too. They're just not many in Baltimore, so I don't come across many. But like taking classes in New York for a while and going away to school, you do get a chance to come across different people. But I'm not really on the market. If I was, race wouldn't be a big deal. If we had similar interests, you dress nice, we can hold a good conversation. And, you kind of balance me out. You had a little bit of energy about you, a little sass and appeal, then, we could get along. So that's pretty much, those are the type of things that I would look for in like an ideal type of woman.
Yeah, not wrong with that, man. Now, Q, you mentioned you're in a relationship right now. How long you said the relationship been going
on? For like, what's this, 2014, so at least 4 or 5 years.
Oh wow, that's a long time, man. Now, normally you see a woman that long, they waiting on something, but I guess you could say the age is kind of playing a role in it a little bit. You still consider yourself a little young to be walking down the aisle, exchanging rings.
Well, just off the top, I don't think men should get married until 30, and it's not like age. Like of course there are exceptions. So age doesn't determine marriage, but I think most men aren't ready to get married until 30. I'll say that.
Yeah,
because like it's a lot of growing up and maturing you have to do to become a man. You're taking on somebody else's life. You have to be responsible for somebody else. If you have children, you have to be responsible for them, and you have to understand how to share your life with somebody else. I'm like, really, guys, we don't know how to do that until at least 30. Because you got
how old are you now?
32.
Oh, you 32? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in there now.
So it wouldn't be a chance I was going to get married until I turned 30 anyway. And most chicks that I know that it's not personal. It's not like I wouldn't have made that change if I felt it coming. But really, I'm just trying to learn how to be the best me I could be for the time. Because really, I don't want to come out here and mess somebody else's life up. I got to see people before me, young get married, or even older people. I'm just thinking about the things that go into marriage. So, yeah, the age did factor into
and you're right, because it's a lot involved. You're right, it's a lot involved when you're talking about an immature man taking on a young woman. You're taking a chapter away from them, if it doesn't end right. And then they're going to look back and say, wow, that was some serious time. You think about some of the young ladies out there now that's in their 40s and 50s. They wasted 15, maybe 20 years with a man. Now they're in their late 40s, early 50s, and it's hard to meet people now at that age because most of the guys are coming out of some problem relationships where they might be, battered really bad. And then you got some guys that maybe are widows or sickly. Right. So it's kind of tough, So you kind of want to make that choice, the first choice, the right choice. Right, Ty? What you think about that?
I mean, definitely, man. What you got, Q?
No, I was just agreeing. I mean, about what Jerry said about taking the chapter away from the women. That's the one thing I think about. That is that women. I don't think they should just sit around and wait. Like, you gotta have the conversation like often and early if that's what you want. You know, that's just how women are raised. Like they're just like conditioned to want to grow up and be happily married. Men, it's not the same thing. They want to grow up and be able, you know, like able to do what they want to do and be providers and like earn money. Marriage isn't like the number one thing where it is like for little girls. It's like part of the princess dream type of thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is unfortunate though if you're with a guy for so long and things don't work out. You know, it is kind of selfish if the guy kind of wastes our time. But I think it's still up to women to be a little bit responsible for that and like, you know, take their life, you know, take charge of what they want in their life and not let a guy hold them up for too long. You know, that's what I think.
All right. Good.
All right. Well, real quick, Q, you know, what do you think from your past experiences, past relationships, that's kind of prepared you for the commitment in which you've already invested with the young lady you're currently with? I mean, 5 years is a long time, and I know if it was me, you know, I might be more inclined to take my past experiences, and obviously you've done something. You know, you guys have been together for so long. What exactly do you think has been the thing that kind of pushed you along throughout this current relationship?
You mean like push us along, you know, like to stay together, or?
Yeah, just to stay together, to, you know, keep the relationship healthy, you know, and things like that. What do you think that from your past experiences you've been able to pull from and kind of, you know, use in your current relationship?
Well, I mean, we talked about marriage and all that type of stuff, and we had to come to, like, we shared what we thought about it, talked about what we disagreed, and then try to meet in somewhere in between, as far as between ourselves, so we can be on the same page as far as getting married or when to get married or how you feel about marriage. And as far as my past experiences, like from my past experiences, I just realized I don't like women who have poor relationships with the rest of their family. So, you know, my girlfriend, all families have things that they go through, but there are some people who just have, you know, poor relationships, like really poor relationships with their parents. And that matters to me because we'll be ill-equipped to raise a family because they more than likely won't have great parental skills. Like they may be a good provider, but they may not know how to love a child properly. And then it may be on me. Like, I don't have any children, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it. So, you know, it's helped to be with a woman that has, like, you know, that maternal instinct. So from my past experiences, I learned that women that don't have great maternal instinct, they just don't work for me. And then it helped me realize that, well, my girlfriend now has good maternal instinct, so, you know, she's a keeper on that front. That makes sense to be with somebody like that, in my opinion. And like we had like our ups and downs and all that type of stuff. So other past experiences, like finances, they always say is like the number one reason why people get divorced. So we had to go through messing up money and learning money. So like I had a little bit more experience than she had as far as earning and losing and earning money again. And in between there, we can't get married if we don't have any money, so that just makes sense. Like, we said, it's not going to happen if we don't have money, baby. You can't rush a brother with no money. That wouldn't be good for you, you know, but a lot of people don't think about that. To me, it seems they're not thinking about that. So I use that past experience, like becoming a man, learning how to handle money, or meeting a woman who knows how to handle money better than you, then you're a little more prepared to make that move.
Are you ready to get married?
Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to feel the desire to do so, but there's still some things need to be sorted out. Like, so I'm not all the way there yet.
Take your time, right? Yeah.
I mean, I'm a pretty patient person, not like stagnant, but I am patient though, and I'm not. You can't rush the rest of your life. So
it's another chapter.
I look at it as really like, you know, the rest of your life. So if you don't make it, you still gotta think about it as if it's the rest of your life. I would assume, because that's what.
Yeah, that's the way you right. That's how you want to go into it. Yeah, you going into it, thinking that it's going to be till death do you part.
Right.
Well, yeah. Good answer, man. Good answer. That's a good answer for a young cat.
Right.
Now, one thing that me, I ended up having my first child when I was 21. I thought I was in love. Is this your first time being in love, or what happened before, and you learned from it? I mean, did you walk away, or did she walk away?
No, I was in love before, and it just didn't work out. I guess we both got it. Just didn't work out.
Yeah, and you learned from that. I mean,
yeah, I did. I mean, I kind of got tired of the stuff that she was going through. I guess she got tired of going through certain stuff with me, and so we just kind of started fading away, and I just chose not to deal with her no more.
Now, funny thing, Q, we had somebody on that basically they kind of fell in love with each other in high school. They didn't really have a real relationship, but they knew they could. But he ended up going away to the armed forces for a while, and then she ended up marrying somebody, but then speeded up to the future. They're now both divorced, and now they are about to get married. Was it ever anybody early in your life that you say, you know what, if the young lady with now didn't work out, it is somebody out there you probably wouldn't mind looking up? Because you're hearing about that right now. People looking people up.
Yeah, I'm not looking nobody up. I just don't. I'm not against it. I'm not against dealing with somebody that I've messed with before, but I ain't looking them up though. Like nobody has a hold on me like that. Well, I'll be trying to get with them now. Like, no, I ain't going back to look for nobody. If it happened, it happened because we saw each other out, or we crossed paths again, and you're like, oh well, what's happening or something. But I ain't looking for nobody.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I heard a few people, man, were they online, Facebook.
Yeah,
look them up. They were looking for them.
I don't even use Facebook that much, so I know that's not going to work for me. But no, I mean, I'm into like I'm not. I really appreciate the things in the past that I learned from, but I'm really into progress, like in the future. So I'd rather be looking forward to a whole new person that's going to add something new to my life. So I'd rather it just be a totally new woman. Like I'm not looking up nobody from the past.
I understand. All right. But Ty, you got a brand new relationship, so I know you're not looking in the past.
Oh, nah, man, not at all. I'm always facing forward, man, trying to progress, man. If you ain't moving forward, then you standing still.
Look, Q, this guy met this real sweet young lady. I think it must have been the fall, and they in love already.
Yeah, that's how it works sometimes, man.
And they carrying a long distance relationship at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's love. That's that good love right there, man.
Hey, man, our love is stronger than the miles between us, man. So I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah. I know, man. Look, when we talk about him, I can hear her smiling through the. I mean, like last night during the show, the guest said, "Yeah, you're in love." He could tell. She used to sound like it, on the show. He said, "Man, I gotta have that. I want that." Because he mentioned that when he finds love, he want that person to be his best friend. What you think about that? I mean, should she be your best friend? I mean, your friend.
Yeah,
friend.
No, I agree, man. I agree. I definitely think you should be each other's best friend. Like that's how me and my girlfriend are. We were kind of more so friends before anything else. It just makes sense to me. I honestly don't think that love is the reason why you're supposed to get married.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. Like love just don't.
Not
the only thing. Yeah, you need. Yeah, it's not enough. I don't mean it's like I'm not talking down on love. I just don't think it should be the only component of why people get married. Like, yo, I'm in love, I love her, so let's get married. No, that don't make sense to me. So that doesn't work for me. But I think friendship, like, and compatibility mean a lot more. Like, if you can work out things between you two, that matters for now. It matters a year from now. It matters 5 and 10 years from now because of the type of people you are. Because when you mad at somebody and you don't think, you might feel like you don't love them, but if y'all have an understanding and a friendship and certain types of compatibility, it'll work out. Like you can work it out. So Yeah,
Absolutely.
I definitely get you on that, being friends and being compatible. And you have to like the person. Like, you can love a person that you don't like that much.
That's true.
Like
That's
their
just their
personality,
gorgeous.
yeah. Like they say, opposites attract. So you may be attracted to somebody, but you may not like them as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like the type of person that they are don't mess well with who you are. So
That's a
being
good
friends
point.
and stuff matters.
That's a good point, because you can think about it. It could be a woman that you just attracted to that type anyway, and you just love that type of woman. Like it's a, I'm not just saying about her shape, but the way she carries herself. The way, how some guys are attracted to them thug girls too.
Right.
So no matter how many he meet, he's in love with each one of those thug types. And like you said, something go wrong, then it's over, and he's going to go find another one that he loves. Yeah. Tight. Yeah, good point. All right.
Now, you said you and your girl are friends. Was that like a friendship that started initially, or did you guys grow to be friends throughout the course of your relationship?
Well, I was interested in the beginning, so I asked my man about her. But when we first started talking, it wasn't just like we talked and like we talked about regular things and cared about what the other person was doing before we was like in a real live relationship. We were just like we spent time before the 4 or 5 years that we've been together. We spent time together before then, just like understanding the kind of person that the other person is. So we weren't like crowding each other's space all the time. Like when you're friends, you let your friends do what they do. Like that's just what your friends do. And then you spend time together as friends. Yeah, and we actually learned about each other. Like when you're just dating somebody, sometimes or you're interested in them, you only want to see the stuff that you like.
Yeah.
So we sometimes share stuff that we necessarily might not have you may not want to show a person that you date. You don't want them to know that your feet stink or whatever. You have like a bad temper. You don't want them to know that you have a bad temper. But when you're somebody's friend, they'll take you as the type of person who has a bad temper sometimes.
Yeah, they know you, right? They know it.
Yeah, they know you. So we got to know each other like that before we got in a relationship. So yeah.
Yeah. I was laughing when you were saying that, because I was going to ask you, when you guys were friends, when did you know you were item? You remember where you were, what you were doing, what you were saying?
It was more like holiday, Thanksgiving. I think she came to my house for Thanksgiving, and so it was more like official then. That's kind of like a traditional, typical thing, right?
So you said it? You said something?
You present somebody to your family, is that, that's just kind of how it is. So, I mean, I guess we kind of said it, but yeah, that's kind of how it was.
But that's special. That's special that you remember that, though.
Yeah, it wasn't like you gonna be my girl, or like I didn't write her a letter and tell her to check a box or anything. But she understood that was the next step. She never really been around my family and stuff like that before. So obviously this guy takes me serious, and we kind of, then we kind of like talked about it afterwards. It might have been like months or something afterwards, but that moment kind of made it special. We kind of felt like that was
good.
Like
you remember it, man. 'Cause I remember exactly where I was, man. We were sitting in my wife's car. She just got a new car. We were sitting on Liberty Heights in Callaway, and she we was just chit chatting a little bit, and I said, so you want to, go study? She said that.
Right.
She said, yeah, why not? That's exactly what she said. Why not? I don't have nothing else to do. 22 years later, bam, right here, 2014, with Prime. Yeah, man. All right, Ty.
I got one last question for you, Q, man. Now, I mean, I've heard your business ventures and all your past as far as your business, and learned you've been in a relationship for the last 5 years. How has her goals in life kind of affected your goals, and have they coincided or have they clashed at all? How do you go about supporting her and her goals, and how does she go about supporting you and yours?
Well, I think that we're very supportive of each other, so our goals don't really clash. One thing I didn't say about like my ideal woman is like I like ambitious women. I don't like women that don't do much. Like you need to have a life. I'm not saying you gotta go start $1 million company, but you can't just sit around. Like, you should do things, like have good hobbies or something, like be into stuff. So she's into some things. And then, you know, if she wasn't, you know, I helped her along the way if she was trying to learn something or figure something out. So, you know, I just encourage her to do the things that she really likes to do, because, you know, I'm going to do the things I like to do. And doing things that you like having your thing, makes you happy. So when I felt like she wasn't happy, like, I was, do your thing. Like, what's your interest? What you want to get into? What do you want to, like, grow something? So I just, like, kind of help support her hobbies and dreams and stuff like that, and, you know, push her along the way and help wherever I can. And she helps me whenever she can, like me organizing all these crazy ideas for doing business. Or really, she helped me become. I won't do like a bunch of different businesses at once, because it just doesn't work. But handling the task for them, I'll be trying to do too many at one time. So she helped settle me in, like, okay, you got to get this done, you got to get that done before you go on to this. Why don't you try just chilling out and finishing this part first? And I kind of learned that from her. And I also learned how to network. She's way more sociable than I am. Mm-hmm. So I might do all the behind-the-scenes work, and she actually might have coached me up on how to, you know, politic a little bit more, because, like, I don't know how it came about, but I'm to the business. Like, I'm shrewd. I'm not, like, mean or rude or anything. I don't like wasting time. But, you know, sometimes you got to gloss over some things, and, you know what I mean? You got to schmooze a little bit.
Yeah,
and she helped me with that type of stuff. Yeah. So she helped me with that type of stuff, and then I helped her pick up, more responsible habits, or how to use your time a little bit better. You know, so we just kind of feed off each other and, like, balance each other out. So we definitely support each other in all our ventures and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're gonna be the good cop, bad cop when y'all have kids. You probably be the good cop.
I already know that, though. I already know that. We already talked about it, so it's real. That is definitely real. But I don't mind it, though. I mean, I'll take the bad guy. I'll take the bad guy role. It's cool.
That's right. I'm a good guy, man. They always run to me to help them go up against mommy, but I can't do that. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate it. We're going to end on that note, Q. I want to thank my co-host, Ty, for filling in for Latrina from Detroit. I'm going to let her know you did a spectacular job. Do you agree with that, Q?
Yeah, man. Yeah, really good questions. Nice meeting you, too, man.
Nice meeting you, too, man. Take care, man. I wish you all the best of luck in your relationship, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. We wish you the best, man. Like I said, Q, you always been a guy you should look forward to walk around and, you know, talk about entrepreneurship, help break the day up and help, because you know how long I've been talking about doing this. I know you phrasing that job.
Yeah, you was ready to get back in the game, man. I remember.
I know. And that BA job was weighing me down, bro. I just, you know, when you get a little older, you can't handle but so much stress. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm back now, and I really appreciate the opportunity to have you on the show and share your life with us and my audience, and the best of luck to you, man. Keep you in prayer.
Thanks, Jerry, and thanks for keeping me in mind too, because I know you got back to doing this, so you could forget about all the guests you could have coming up on a whole bunch of other guests. But yeah, I really appreciate you having me though.
Yeah, man, I definitely had to get my circle in because, soon it's going to be time to make some money. And basically, you got to be correct when you go after those big boys, the big girls and the big boys. I got to wear my big boy pants coming out of the gates, man. So I'm pretty happy with the way everything's been coming along with the website. I mean, Ty, his girl has been like, I can't even say what she put into this to get me where I'm at right now. And Erica, the same person, been supportive. So I appreciate your support, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, everybody. We ending the show. That's Uncovering Mr. Right, coming from Quintel Harcum from Baltimore. And we're going to say goodnight and continue to browse our website. We have many, many interviews, and all our guests have been exciting. I really appreciate them coming on. Take care, everybody.
Right,
thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend. This is Jerry Royce at Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on.